Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another episode, Parent Involved. My name is Jamie. I'm your host, and today is going to be an episode with my middle child, Jaden.
Hi.
Welcome, Jaden. How are you feeling today?
Good.
Thank you for joining me on my podcast.
It's great to be here. It's an honor.
Oh, thank you. Okay, well, this is your first official episode on the podcast and your first official interview. So, are you nervous?
No, not really. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, you're a little professional.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, guys, today I'll have my middle child. We're going to be diving into a little bit of things that go on in his world. We live in California, so he's going to explain the life of California, living as a actor, which you've already had some jobs. So he's going to go over some of that. We're going to talk about how he got started. I'm going to go ahead and give some information on, parents that might be interested in getting their kids started. Also, if you guys haven't already, I do have Instagram and TikTok. You guys can follow at Parent Involved. On Instagram, it's at ParentInvolved_pod. Please follow my podcast for new episodes every Tuesday, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Also, you can subscribe to my YouTube where I'll be beginning video podcasts as well in the near future. All right, Jaden. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Just a little background. We've moved from Texas to California about almost 5 years now. How are you feeling about living in California? You probably don't remember too much about Texas, but do you like California? How are you feeling out here?
Yeah, I like California, but my uncle, my cousins, they live in Texas, and actually my cousins, they live in Arkansas. But I used to, almost every Christmas, I used to see them, and they used to wrap up presents in the rooms.
Yeah, so you had a lot of family. You were close to a lot of family when we lived in Texas. That can be a little con of living in California because you're so far away from them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that. But you've adjusted. I know you did have a little rough time when we first moved out here. It was a little rough, but I think over the years, you've shown a lot of improvement and a lot of interest in the things California offers, right?
Yeah.
So we'll get into some of that. So I think when we first got down here, you were about 5. Yep, you were going into kindergarten. Wow, it's been that long. Didn't even realize it, huh?
Wait, since we first moved here?
Yeah, you were going to kindergarten. You
I
started
remember being
kindergarten out here.
7. Oh no, moving to California? Yeah, 5.
Yeah, so we moved here and you started kindergarten. And then do you remember what you were interested in when you first moved here?
I always wanted to see famous people, just walking down. I thought I would see them, but no.
Yeah, when you think of California or Los Angeles, Hollywood, you always think I'm going to see some famous people. That's never happened though. We've never just rode around and saw a famous person.
Yeah.
But you have met some famous people in your life though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few of them. So I think when you started here, I know you've always been involved in sports. So I always made sure, I think since you were 3, you played basketball when you were 3 at the YMCA. That was in Texas. So
yeah.
You played basketball, you played soccer, and then you played t-ball. Those were the 3 sports. You remember that? Do you remember those times?
Yeah, I remember playing t-ball. It was so hot outside. That's why I quit.
That's why you quit?
Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, you didn't like t-ball too much because you had to just stand there. You're really an active person. You like to move around, and that being in the outfield, that was just not something. I could tell right away that's not your sport.
Yeah.
But you did well. You did well out there when it was time for you to bat. When it was time for you to bat, you definitely did well. So.
Well, I like running.
Oh yeah, you did have a stage when you were on the track team, and you ran. You ran, I think, a 400, that was one whole lap. You ran that. You used to do relays. You remember that?
Yeah.
But sprinting, you were definitely really good at sprinting. You had a lot of blue ribbons. That was kindergarten, right? That was about between kindergarten and first grade, right before the pandemic, before 2020.
But I don't think we actually have the ribbons because it's at somewhere else, right?
Yeah, I think we didn't bring the ribbons with us, but definitely I got pictures. You remember that picture of you holding your ribbons?
Yeah,
Yeah. You really did well. Really did well in track. But then the pandemic hit and then we were kind of stuck in the house. How you felt about that? Did you like not going
I
to
was
school?
actually kind of excited until they had Zoom.
Yeah, when they had Zoom, I mean, you did pretty well. Your first grade teacher was really, I thought she was really nice.
No, my first grade teacher,
Oh, it was second grade.
yeah, I was second grade.
Yeah, your second grade teacher is when we had the Zoom. You're right.
My first grade teacher, she was mean.
No, I liked her.
Yeah, well,
Coming from your kindergarten to your first grade teacher, I really disliked your kindergarten teacher, but your first grade teacher, I really liked her. She brought you up to speed because you struggled. That's when we first moved and you struggled a little bit, getting on track and going to school full time. So, but first grade, she saw where you were lacking, and that's probably why you didn't like her too much because she brought you back and you had to sit there like a real student and behave.
no.
Yeah, and you had to do your work.
My first grade teacher, man, I remember this one time. This kid did something wrong, and then she literally ripped up the paper, and then she started and then she ripped up the paper, and then the kid was crying.
Oh goodness. Okay.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I think a lot of us probably experienced some, but it wasn't your paper, so
Now my paper got crumbled up a couple of times.
I don't believe that. I
Yeah,
don't
well,
believe that at all.
you weren't there.
Okay. All right. So we'll fast forward a little bit. So I think okay, second grade, that's when you had the whole year of Zoom online at home, which that wasn't bad. You were just in the next room to me and you did well. You did pretty good. Y'all made ice cream on the last day at home,
Yeah.
but it didn't turn to ice cream, right? But you tried.
There's something I gotta tell you.
What? You did something to
I
it?
would sneak my phone inside Maya's room, and then I would kind of sometime, and then I would
Be on your phone during class?
yeah, I would just close my camera, and I would just be on my phone, and then I would just turn it off
Oh,
a couple
really?
1 minute later,
I'm
maybe
pretty
a
sure a
second.
lot of kids did that. If they were on Zoom and they had the option to turn off the camera, I mean, there's been plenty of times where I'm at work and during a meeting, I've turned off my meeting on the camera. Yeah, that's kind of common. What'd you say? Fired? I mean, no, I don't play games on my phone. I mean, I was just on my phone. If I had some emergency, I would.
Or she was watching TikTok.
No, I don't do that at work. I definitely don't do that at work because TikTok is addictive, which you know as well. So I try to stay away from TikTok unless I got the time to get invested.
One time, actually, I was addicted to TikTok. Every time I got home, there was this one time I was wearing this tight shirt. It was just tight on me, and then when I got home, I was like, let me get this shirt off. It's tight.
On what? TikTok?
No, it was like a tight shirt on me. When I got home, never mind, never mind.
What that has to do with
I don't
the
know.
Zoom?
I don't know.
Okay, off topic. All right. Okay, so we'll fast forward after that. So that's when I think after second grade, that's when we decided to. It was your ninth birthday.
Second grade,
So let's see.
third grade was
When did you first get started in acting? Do you remember how
maybe
old you were? You should always remember this. It was
second or third
how
grade.
old were you though when you first?
Oh, 9.
It was on your ninth birthday. Do you
Oh.
remember?
Yeah.
We went. So on your ninth birthday, there was no school, and it was online. This is how I saw it. I saw it online, and it was well. Actually, I think it was school. There was school. So there was a posting on Facebook about kids casting. They were trying to get kids for the show Abbott Elementary. Well, actually, they didn't even note the show on there. They just said they needed school age kids, elementary kids, school kids from a certain age. So I just submitted your information to see what would happen. And you know what happened? They called and they were like, yes, if he can, you'd have to have a permit, which we got one. We were able to get one, and you were able to go on set on your birthday.
Yeah, we had to wake up like really early.
Yeah.
We had to wake up like sometimes at 3 or 4.
Yeah, call time I think was 6. So I know I wasn't used to it, so I wanted to make sure that we got there early or on time at least. And so we had to get up a little early, and I try to leave at least an hour because of traffic.
I think like one time we woke up at like 3 or 4. I think like 3, and we were
Yeah.
just like waiting in the car, and you had coffee, and I.
Yeah, I think that's because call time was supposed to be like 5. And so, yep, we definitely would have had to get up at 3, leave by 4 to make it there within an hour. Yep, you're right.
It was tiring, man.
Yeah. Okay, so your ninth birthday, this is when we went to, so you got it was for background. And we got the call that you were able to work on your birthday. So it was kind of like a birthday present where I just wanted, you to go up there to see that life of, kid actors and actors in real life. So that was kind of like half and half. It was a birthday surprise, and then you got to experience for the first time going on a live set. So it was at Warner Brothers. And you remember we went up there, and you got to meet, who you get to meet?
Tyler James Williams.
Yeah, that was your first famous person you've ever met on your birthday.
Yeah, I got to give him a hand. I got to give him like a high five and a fist bump.
Yep. And why were you able to do that? You were able to because he didn't do all the kids like that, right?
No.
Yep. So what happened? Let's hear that story where you were able to get in a scene with him.
So they said, who can do this like role where I just have to like write on a whiteboard with a whiteboard marker? They said, raise your hand if you can do this role. And I raised my hand, and they picked me, and they said, can you do this? I was like, yeah, I can do it. And then they chose me up, and then I was on the table, and then they said, don't look up. And I was like, okay. I think I looked up like one time on accident, and then I didn't look up the second time. And then I got it done, and then Tyler James Williams was about to go, and I was like, fist bump, and he was like, yeah, and I gave him a fist bump and a high five, and that was it.
That was kind of a cool opportunity, right? You were able to get in the room first with him.
Yeah.
I mean, even just being a background, you were in his class, though. You were assigned his class, so you weren't really having any interaction with him until that moment, right? Like they were kind of filming, and then I remember they first had another kid try to do that scene, but they were looking up. Like they weren't supposed to look. The directions were to stay looking down and ignore him when he called your name. Right. Yeah. And then so I know the one kid he kept looking up. So they asked for another person to see if someone else could do it. And then you got up there, and then you were able to do the scene. And it was pretty good. It was a pretty good scene, right? Was it fun? Were you nervous?
Not really. No. I was like, yes. I was kind of happy.
That's pretty cool. Like most of the times when they have background characters, I read about it where they don't normally put the background character up in there for them to do a scene. But Abbott Elementary, they actually do that a lot, which I read that. So they actually do that often, which is pretty cool. It's giving you guys a chance to actually show what you got.
Yeah.
So that was your first encounter. So let's see. From there, I think that's when you decided. You decided that it was something you wanted to try out. Being an actor. It was an interest because it was fun, right? It was a good day on your birthday, and you even let them know it was your birthday. They made you that little card, remember? It was a card that goes on your wall. Like a little poster, a laminate. Yeah, and it was like, happy birthday from Abbott Elementary.
Yeah, and then they gave me like a pot of candy.
Yep, they sure did, which was awesome, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice. I thought that was pretty cool of them to do that for you. And it was your first day. So we tried it a couple times, but I think after that, that's when we decided, okay, let's not do background because, I did the research. I had to do the research. What's the steps to get if your kid wants to act or experience acting? So I had to research. And then that's when coaching, you had to get training pretty much. So training, that was the next step. So do you remember how that started? I think we started off doing some online ones because it was still kind of during the pandemic, but not full blown like it was. So we did the online coaching at first. We did fundamentals. You remember that with Actor Site online?
Kind of.
Ben. His name was Ben. That was their first coach. So yeah, you did some. I know you did some training online just to kind of see how it would go, and he kind of just got you into it, doing scripts on how to read a script, how to break down a script, and how to audition. So from there, you did a few more trainings, and I think that's pretty much when we started and got you a agent. So after doing some training, that's when the agent came in. And the agent, it was just me kind of submitting your pictures, submitting, your resume, which right now your resume is just that you did the background. So it wasn't really much on there. But you had the training to put on there, which is a good start. So as long as you have some training, that's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then we pretty much, that's how we found out, like we had to test it out though. That was something I had to make sure. I didn't want you to feel like you needed to do that, but it's just something that you experience first and then you realize, okay, yes, I want to try it out. So even now, of course, if you ever felt like, okay, I don't want to do it anymore, of course you could say that, because just like with the sports, it's pretty much just trying things out to find out what you like to do. And that could lead to, you never know, it could lead to your career, your future. But you're still young. That's why we're trying out different things. Because it could be a sport. It could be acting, music. What about music? Right now, you're actually doing vocal lessons, too.
Yeah.
How's that feel? How do you like singing?
It's cool,
So you do your vocal lessons and your training in between. So, of course, you have class every week. But you have to practice in between. Because once a week is not going to, help you progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. So that's pretty much that's how we got them started. If any parent has any questions on that, you guys can definitely DM me or message me on Instagram. I definitely will answer questions there. And I do want to, do future episodes where I do answer questions live for those parents that have, any questions, whether it's getting their children started or just the different options out there with training, because we have tried multiple ones. You've had about, let's see, I think you went to at least 4 different trainers, right? You've had quite a few acting coaches.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because you had the fundamentals. You've had voiceover coaching, the training, because it's usually once per week is the class, and it's like a couple hours normally. So you've had the voiceover coaching, you've had animation, which is pretty much voiceover. Mm-hmm. And what is commercial? You've even done commercial training. So there's so much training out there just to see, if that's what kids want to do. Definitely you have to see, how they do, and that comes from them going to the classes. I definitely believe the classes are important.
Yeah.
So you've also been on other shows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What shows were you on
so we already know I was on Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
I was on the Vince Staples show,
which is coming out. That one, the episodes haven't been released because it's not out yet. But yep, you did an episode for the Vince Staples show, and then one more, Snowfall.
Yeah, and Snowfall.
Yep, and you were on an episode of Snowfall. So definitely a good start.
You see me on the last episode in the background?
Yep.
And you'll see me in the end credits.
Yeah, you even made the end credits, which is pretty cool.
If you see a name named Jaden Robertson, that's me.
Yep. So, yeah, I think you're off to a great start. You've just started. It hasn't even been 2 years. It'll be 2 years this year because you started at 9 and you're not 11 yet. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mom.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of myself too.
Good job. That's good. All right. So I think for this episode, it was mainly about, we just found, after just years, I've started since he was 3, just trying to find out what interests him. I think that's important to get involved in extracurricular early, so you can kind of see. I don't think that you should narrow it down to one specific thing. Like some people play maybe basketball from the time they're 3. That's their main sport. That's the only thing they're focused on. But I definitely believe you should not put all your eggs in one basket. You should always have backups. Not even backups, just there should be additional things out there that you can do, for fun. It shouldn't just be one thing. And then that way you can actually choose that way when you get older, you'll have different options, what you loved best, where your passion lies.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about so far? You feel in swimming, you're really into swimming now. I think next I think definitely the way you love swimming, you'll be ready to, be on a team in the near future.
Yeah.
So right now we're just training. You're getting training every, twice a week. So we're starting there, learning the strokes and perfecting the stroke. And then, once you get that down, you'll be ready for swim team.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice to look forward to that. I think that'll be very exciting to root you on swimming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate you joining today, Jaden.
Thank you.
And I hope to get you back on, when we're promoting your series regular or your big move, in the future. Because if you stick with something that you really enjoy, I think you'll definitely go far.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say or talk about before we wrap it up?
I'm glad to be here, and I hope everyone has a good day.
All right, guys. So you heard that. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have, like I said, any questions on anything talked about today, definitely reach out. On Instagram, it is parentinvolve_pod. And then also I'm on TikTok, you guys, and also on YouTube if you guys want to follow us there for the future video podcasts. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Have a great day.